Hi everyone. I thought I would come live, seeing as I've got a little bit of free time this afternoon, and talk about something that comes up a lot in my studio and in my teaching, and that is what is the proper way to sing. So I wanted to talk about this from two perspectives, from my perspective as a singer, and then my perspective as a vocal coach and singing teacher. So I've been singing since I was really tiny, not obviously not professionally or anything, but I started to sing at a really young age, and it's something that I've just always done. But I didn't really learn any technique or get any proper training until I was in my mid-20s. So in terms of my singing life, my singing career, training is, in terms of technique, is quite a relatively new thing to me. I've been teaching it for about 7 or 8 years, and I started learning it maybe a year or two before that. So I've had a lot of time as a singer where I knew nothing about how to sing properly. So I definitely picked up in that time this idea that some people sing properly and some people don't, and people who have had training sing properly, and people who haven't had training are doing it all wrong. And there's, you can listen to a singer and go, "Oh, he's doing that wrong," and it's a little bit snobby. And this is how I felt as an untrained singer. I felt very much like, I don't know, like I was in two minds. I remember thinking that I don't want to be too perfect. I want to be individual, but also feeling a little bit rubbish around other singers who I could tell had training, and I felt like, oh, it seems obvious that I don't know what I'm doing. So the main thing that I want to get at is, as someone who's now crossed over and now teaches technique and actually really, really loves technique, and that's why I teach it, is that there is no proper way to sing. It just doesn't exist. And that's that, really. End of video. No, there is no proper way to sing. So what I do with the singers that I work with is I help them to use their voice as effectively as possible, but in keeping with their own goals. So I work with a wide variety of singers. Some people are rock singers, some people musical theatre, some are children, some of them are like complete beginners, some are like already really established with a signature style. So I don't do the same thing with all of those people, because they've all got completely different voices and different personalities, and everything about them is different. So what technique is for is to open up creative options for you. So some of it, hi Lee, how are you? Oh no, I feel scared, I've got someone watching me. So technique should give you more creative options. Hi Sadie. Oh no, I'm now embarrassed because Sadie knows what she's talking about, and damn it. Anyway, so technique should give you more creative options, and not take them away. And that's something that I know I was worried about before I started learning technique. And I know that I meet a lot of singers come into my studio and they always say to me, I don't want to be operatic or anything. I always get that same sentence from people. And I always say, good, because I don't know how to teach you that, because I've never done opera. So what am I trying to get at? So what I'm trying to get at is technique is supposed to give you more options, not less, to make you more like you, not less like you. And finding that balance in a training environment is really hard. So I try and do as little as possible, basically. So let me try and think of, so I had a week earlier this year where I had 3 different guys in my studio, all for the first time, and all from different backgrounds, but all professional singers. So one of them was a really well-established singer who was going for a big audition. So what we worked on was making sure his voice was healthy and flexible and strong and learning material for his audition. It wasn't changing his sound. I wasn't teaching him how to do anything properly. It was almost like giving his voice a bit of a massage, making sure it was really flexible. Second person was a real busy, gigging function singer who was losing stamina, was finding that by the end of his gigs, his voice was hoarse and he was really having to push through the final set, and it was bothering him because it had never been a problem before. So I did an assessment of his voice, figured out what was going on, gave him some exercises to kind of unpick what the problems were and help him develop more stamina, and gave him a few things to take away so he could do that in his own time. Hi, Mum. My mum's here. And then the third guy was recording an album and found that his voice, he had this idea for something that he wanted to do, but he didn't know how to physically do it. So we did some work helping him to explore other things that his voice could do that he'd never done with it before. None of it was based on singing properly, because there is no proper way to sing. It was using science and knowledge of how the voice works in order to make it work more efficiently. Quite often when we're having a problem with our singing, it's because there's muscle tension, or we're trying to use our voice in a way that isn't actually scientifically possible. So it's using that knowledge of science and anatomy and acoustics to make your voice work for you and not against you. And some of it is just kind of, for me, listening, looking for areas of tension. Can I see tension? Can I hear it? And can we release that with some vocal exercises in order to make your voice work better? So there is no proper way to sing, not in contemporary music anyway. I only teach contemporary. I don't teach classical. I did a bit of classical as a teenager, but I've never done training as a vocal coach in classical, so I don't teach that. It's not my area of interest. But perhaps in other genres there is a proper way of doing things. But in contemporary, oh, Sadie thinks I'm doing okay. Thanks, Sadie. In contemporary music, there is no proper way to sing. It's about using knowledge of how the voice works to make it work for you better. And that's a really beautiful thing, because that means that we all sound totally different and you can have distinctive signature style. And I think a lot of singers do, and this is based on my experience as a singer and as a vocal coach, worry that if you have training, you're going to sound less like you and less unique. Whereas my idea is that it can actually make you sound more like you and more unique, because you've got more command over your voice. You can go to different places with it. You can explore your range. You can explore intensities, volume. You can do riffs and things if you want. It opens up so many doors to develop creativity. So what was I trying to get at? How to sing properly. If anyone talks about someone doing something properly, I'd be inclined to kind of disagree with that. There is no proper way to sing. The only thing I would say is if your throat hurts, if it feels tense, if it feels difficult, physically difficult, then something's not working for you. Your voice is working against you. So if there is a proper way to sing, then it should feel easy. It should feel physically easy. It might be mentally difficult. It might require a lot of concentration. But there should be no physical strain in your throat. If there is, come and see me and I will help you with that. Okay, so I just had a few spare minutes there, and I thought I'd get on my soapbox and talk about singing and how to sing properly. Does anybody have any questions? I've got 3 people watching. One of them's my mum. Mum, do you have any questions? I thought she was on holiday. Anyway, oh no, that wasn't a question. Okay, so I guess everyone's shy. Claire, I'm just about to finish now, but thank you for coming. Soham, want to know if you should do online lessons. If you want to. Do you fancy doing online lessons? Would that be easier for you than coming to Hartford? I'm up for that if you're up for it. I like a bit of an online lesson. Joe, hi Joe. Joe, again, you've missed it. Unless anyone wants me to go over anything else, seeing as I've got a captive audience. Do you know, it's actually nice when people arrive and actually watch these things, because talking to a computer with no one there feels a bit weird. Anyone got any questions before I go? Joe, you'll have to watch it from the start again and find out how to sing properly. You already know, we work together anyway. Okay, cool. Well, guys, I'm going to go now. Hopefully the thing about me, sorry, I'm about to start rambling again, is that I'm a big fan of the grey area. I don't like black and white because I don't see anything as black and white. I don't see the world as black and white. I don't see anything in black and white. I don't think that there's a right and a wrong way to sing. I annoy people because I like grey area, and I like to kind of go, I don't know if I agree with that, because I think that with everything there's shades of and variations of truth and whatever accuracy, and with singing it's the same. There is no right or wrong way of doing things. There's just lots of different shades of stuff, so that's why I think there's no proper way to sing. There are more effective methods than others, but there is no one proper way to sing. So any kind of snobbery around vocal training, and maybe that's just me that experienced that, but that can just all be forgotten about, because there is no right or wrong way to sing. There are people who've never had any training in their life who are, fantastic, and there are people who've had loads who are still struggling. So, there is no right or wrong way to sing. Okay, unless anyone wants to ask me anything, we've got 3 people. Who's watching? Don't know. Okay, I'm going to sign off now. Bye everyone, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Speak soon.